The next call is a split call. Eugenie Sage, 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Tēnā koe. Pleased to speak on behalf of the Green Party on the Coroners Amendment Bill. And as the Minister has noted, we support, well, as the Minister has noted, the aims of the bill are to improve the accountability and transparency of the coronial system and its efficiency and timeliness. And as David Clendon has noted, we endorse the bill and will be supporting it. And it is important to put families at the centre of the coronial system, and some of the changes will help do that. But, Mr Speaker, it's really important to safeguard the independence of coroners, and as other speakers have noted, we also want to ensure that they are adequately resourced. The coronial system has dealt with some major inquiries into the Pike mine disaster, the Christchurch earthquakes and the collapse of the CTV buildings, and it's done that on a limited budget of $17 million annually. So improving efficiency and timeliness may have more to do with increasing resources rather than changing the law. And this whole issue too around the independence of coroners, they do act in different ways, and it is important that the public can be confident in their impartiality and independence. So we welcome the provisions in the bill which improve the transparency around the appointment process and with the issue of dealing with conflicts of interest. But those provisions which seek to clarify the coroner's role and which claim to reduce the duplication with other agencies, submissions on those will be very important to determine whether there has been any attempt to, just by the way the law is drafted, constrain the independence of coroners. And we are very interested in submissions because, as the regulatory impact statement noted, the bill has been prepared after consultation with key stakeholders, but not with full public consultation, which the department would have said was desirable, and that was because of the timeframes that the Minister imposed. But in the brief time remaining, I'd like to comment on the provisions around suicide reporting, because there are over 500 self-inflicted deaths in New Zealand each year. That's far higher than the road toll. All of those deaths are desperately sad for families and friends. Most escape public notice, but some do attract significant media attention. And New Zealand is quite unique in the way it deals with reporting of self-inflicted deaths. We are the only country which uses the law to restrict reporting, and for more than 50 years our law has had restrictions on the way in which the method of self-inflicted death is or can be reported. And there's certainly no restriction on the reporting of the problem of suicide in general, and endorse the comments of John O'Naylor that there's sometimes a bit of confusion there, and there's certainly no restriction on that. But the whole issue of constraining the reporting on the method of death has been because of a desire to avoid an inquest by media before the coroner in his judicial or her judicial role has been able to rule on the cause of death, and because there have been a number of studies, as the Law Commission noted, that show that reporting the method of a suicide has significant imitative effect on subsequent suicides, especially when the victim is a celebrity and when people identify with the age and sex of the victim. And it's particularly young people and people experiencing depression which are vulnerable here. So those restrictions have a strong purpose in preventing social harm, but there's been a widespread recognition through the review which the Ministry did in 2012 and the very insightful report of the Law Commission that the current law is not working, or it's working inadequately. There's uncertainty about the meaning of the law. It's uneven in its application. It doesn't apply to deaths overseas, but it does to New Zealand, and because of our social media and changes in technology. So there hasn't been a lot of compliance with the existing law, so it's very timely that we have this bill, and we in the Green Party will be very interested in submissions as to whether the way it's drafted actually improve the situation and give more clarity around the restrictions on using media to publish the details of the method of death. Thank you, Mr Speaker.